I hope you have your math book. We are on page 211, and we're going to do numbers 2 through 6 together. Now, remember how we do these is you're going to work them out, put your answer in, and then I'll show you what the answer is, and we'll talk through how we worked it out. So remember, I do look back and see if people answer these and what you answer, and that's what I use to figure out how we're going to create stations on Friday and what group you're going to be in. So make sure you're trying your hardest. There's nothing wrong with getting some wrong, but do try your hardest. So for these, I'm going to have you solve it yourself, put your answer in, and then we'll work it out to make sure we got the same answer. Go ahead and work out number 2. All right, for number 2, you should have first decided what your rule is going to be. So remember, we're going to look and see if we're going up or down. So 25 and 7/10, 24 and 1/10, 20 and 9/10, 19 and 3/10. I can see that we're going down. So I'm going to begin my rule by saying subtract. Now I have to figure out what's going on. So we're going to first subtract the first 2 numbers because that's what you always do to start these problems. Magical decimal line. So 25 and 7/10 minus 24 and 1/10. Let's subtract. 7 minus 1 is 6. 5 minus 4 is 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. So I know that I'm subtracting 1 and 6/10. I hope that's the rule you got as well. So now all I have to do to figure out the answer is take my 24, not supposed to have a decimal there, my 24 and 1/10, minus my 1 and 6/10. Again, make sure you're lining those decimals up very specifically. Now I can't say 1 minus 6, we're going to borrow. 11 minus 6. So I know that 5 plus 5 is 10 and 6 plus 6 is 12. So 5 plus 6 is 11. 3 minus 1 is 2. Bring down my 2. 22 and 5/10 is what you should have gotten in the blank. I hope you got that one correct. Let's look at the next one. Our rules start at 17 and 3/10 and add 9/10. I like the rule ones a little bit better because you don't have to figure out the rule. So for these, we're always going to find the next 4 numbers in the sequence. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll get you started by reminding you that 17 and 3/10 is your first number in your sequence. So now all you have to do is add your 9/10. Go ahead and work it out. Make sure you're taking your time and come back and let's check it. All right, for this one, all we're going to do is add 17 and 3/10 and add our 9/10 3 times. So 9/10, making sure I'm lining up those decimals. We're adding it. 3 plus 9, 10, 11, 12. That gives me 8. So 18 and 2/10 should have been your second one. Let's add 9/10 again. 10, 11. That gives me 19 and 1/10. And I am out of room, so I'm going to bring it down here and say 19 and 1/10 plus 9/10. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 9 is 10. And that gives me 2. So you should have put 18 and 2/10, 19 and 1/10, 20/10, or 20 and 0/10. Or you could have left that off and just said 20. Remember, they're the exact same thing. Let's go ahead and do number 4. Rule, start at 28 and 6/10 and subtract 3 and 1/10. I'm going to line it up for you again. Remember, you need 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And your first one is 28 and 6/10. Go ahead and find the next 3. All right, you should have found the next 3, so let's work them out. We know we're starting with 28 and 6/10. And we're going to go ahead and draw that magical decimal line down and subtract 3 and 1/10. 6 minus 1 is 5. 8 minus 3 is 5. Bring down the 2. 25 and 5/10. Subtract 3 and 1/10 again. 4, 2, 2. 22 and 4/10. And subtract 3 and 1/10 again. Make sure you're borrowing correctly. 12 minus 3, 11, 10, 9. That gets me 19 and 3/10. Pause the video here and take a look at my work if you got different answers. I want to make sure that you're understanding these. Now, if you're not and you're not getting the correct answers, write down the ones you really struggled with and remind me when you come back to the meet, and we'll go over those together. Let's look at the next one, number 5, starting into those word problems. The Ride It store rents bicycles. The cost is $8.50 for 1 hour, $13.65 for 2 hours, $18.80 for 3 hours, and $23.95 for 4 hours. If the pattern continues, how much will it cost Nate to rent a bike for 6 hours? So that was a lot of words. Let's start by just putting those numbers in a sequence. So I have my marker. I'm going to say, okay, the first one is $8.50. That's for 1 hour. $13.65 for 2 hours. $18.80 for 3 hours. $23.95 for 4 hours. And all we need to do is figure out 2 more blanks to get to 6 hours. Now it looks like a problem you know how to solve. That's the best thing to do with these word problems is read them through and then turn it into a number sequence so you can figure out what you're going to be doing. So as always, we're going to be finding our rule. As you can see, we're going from $8.50 to $13.65 to $18.80. So I know I'm going to add. So now let's figure out what goes in between each one. The first step is always to figure out your rule and then to subtract the first 2 numbers, putting the bigger number on top. $13.65 minus $8.50. Let's subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. 3 minus 8 I can't do, so I'm going to borrow. 13 minus 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 gets me 5. So I know I'm going to be adding $5.15 each time. Now, I want to double check my work and make sure I'm doing the right thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next 2 numbers, $18.80 minus $13.65. Remember, anytime that you doubt at all, you always can just double check your work because we all make mistakes. So we're subtracting, I have to borrow, make that a 7 and a 10. That's 5, 1, 2. 8 minus 3 is 5, not 2. See, we all make mistakes. It's all good. So I got $5.15 again, so I know that my answer is probably correct. So I know that I'm going to be adding $5.15 each time. So to figure out what comes in the next 2 blanks, all I'm going to do is add $5.15. So I've got $23.95 plus $5.15. And we're just going to add it up. 5 plus 5 is 10. 9 plus 1 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. 8, 9, 2. So blank 5 gets 29 and 10 cents. Now we're going to add 29 and 10 cents plus 5.15. Make sure you have that match your decimal line. I almost missed up and put my 5 under the wrong number. You have to take your time and check your work. 0 plus 5 is 5. 1 plus 1 is 2. 9 plus 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 34.25. So let's go back and make sure we have what the problem is asking us. The problem asked us, if the pattern continues, how much will it cost Nate to rent a bike for 6 hours? So as you can see, we laid out the 3 numbers they gave us, first hour, second hour, third hour, and then we found out the 4th, 5th, and 6th hour. So we know that our answer is going to be $34.25 because that's how much it was for the 6th hour. That was a pretty serious one, and I think I forgot to tell you to work it out on your own, but we're going to make it work. Go ahead, let's look at the next one. Lynn walks dogs every day to earn money. The fees she charges per month are 1 dog, $40. Uh-oh, another dog walking problem. I hope this one works out better than the last one. 2 dogs, $37.25 each. 3 dogs, $34.50 each. 4 dogs, $31.75 each. A pet store wants her to walk 8 dogs. If the pattern continues, how much will Lynn charge to walk each of these dogs? I want you to try this one on your own. I know you can do it. So try it and come on back. All right, so for this one, remember, same thing. You're just going to show your sequence. Makes it a lot easier. So remember, 1 dog, $40. 2 dogs, $37.25. 3 dogs, $34.50. 4 dogs, $31.75. So now we have to get to 8. So we've got 5, 6, I'll put 7 and 8 down here. So we have to figure out the next 4 numbers in the sequence. So like always, all we're going to do is we're going to find our rule. We can see that our rule is going to be to subtract since we're going down. And now we need to figure out what we're subtracting by. So like always, we're just going to subtract the first two numbers, 40 and 37.25. Make sure you have your magical decimal line because we have to make sure we put our decimal and our 2 zeros because $40 is the same as $40.00. Minus 37.25. Got to do a lot of borrowing here. So borrow, make that a 3. Now that's a 10. Now it's a 9. Now that's a 10. Now it's a 9. And now that's a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 7 is 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. So for every dog you add, she subtracts $2.75. So let's go ahead and start working these out. We've got $31.75 minus $2.75. Magical decimal line. 5 minus 5 is 0. 7 minus 7 is 0. 11 minus 2, 10, 9. $29 even for 5 dogs. Minus $2.75. Got to borrow. That's an 8 now. 10, 9, 10. That's 5, 2, 6, 2. I didn't have my magical decimal line coming down. That could have been really bad. Our next one for 6 dogs is 26.25. And we got to keep going, but I'm going to make some room because my whiteboard's getting a little bit full. I bet yours did too. This is a lot of subtraction. But remember, decimal subtraction is really easy. It's just regular with a magical line. So now we've got 26.25 minus 275. Magical decimal line. 5 minus 5 is 0. We have to borrow. 12 minus 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 5 minus 2 is 3. Bring down my 2. 23.50. Now we're going to need to subtract 23.50 minus 275. Magical decimal line. We have to borrow, make that a 4. So this is going to be a 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. I have to borrow again, make that a 14. I know that 7 plus 7 is 14, so that's pretty easy. And 2. Okay. So number 8 is $20.75. So if she gives people a $2.75 discount for every dog they add, by the time she gets to 8 dogs, it's going to be $20.75 per dog. I hope you got the right answer on that one. It was a lot of work, but I know you can do it. So go ahead and work out the next problems in your book that I give you on the next page, and then come and see me.